Hello everyone. I'm continuing this exercise of upgrading a Drupal 9 site to Drupal 10, and this is the part 2 where in the previous part we talked about we completed a few steps already where we upgraded the site from Drupal 9.4 to 9.5. That was the first step. We upgraded few of the modules, few of the dependencies, and then we finally installed the upgrade status module and just ran it to get a report. These are the 4 things that we completed in the last video, and we're going to continue from there. So if you're interested in any of these things, it's a good idea to go back and watch the first video. I'll put a link over here. Where should it come? This, here, I don't know. Okay, anyway, you see on the top the link should be there, and it'll be there in the description as well if you miss it, right? And if you're not really care about that, if you're just interested in upgrading from 9.5 to 10, or dealing with custom modules, because that's what we're going to deal with today. The next step is migrate the or upgrade the deprecated modules, the custom modules, and a few other modules which are part of core. So we're going to talk about those things today. So if you're interested in that part of the process, then you can as well start watching from right here. And so I mentioned the 4 steps. The remaining steps are migrating the deprecated modules, upgrading the custom modules and theme. Then finally, we'll be able to upgrade to Drupal 10. And once we do that, we'll also be able to upgrade the PHP version to 8.2, because we can't do that right now, although it'll simplify some of our dependencies. We can't do that right now because Drupal 9 doesn't support PHP 8.2. So we'll have to wait until we are on Drupal 10, then upgrade to PHP 8.2, and then finally update all the dependencies. So these are all the steps we're going to do. And again, just like yesterday, I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of these today. But yeah, let's see. I'll stop this video recording at the reasonable point, and then it'll be on the video. But let's see. I'm hoping we'll be able to get everything done today itself. So with that, let's look at the code. I'm going to switch my camera, and so that this is a little easier for me to talk to, rather than looking over here. And yeah, let me just switch this off. Yeah, and let's get started. So like I said, we left off at the upgrade status module, and we can quickly go back and look at the report there. We've already run it. And we had this problem with geocoder. We talked about it. So it'll get upgraded when we upgrade to Drupal 10. That's one thing. HAL, again, no need to worry about that, because we'll have to add it. So yeah, we have to worry about that because we have to add it when we upgrade to Drupal 10. We can't add it right now because the HAL module is Drupal 10 only. So I won't be able to bring it in using Composer. Right, so let's move on to the parts that we have to manually fix. Now, some of them, like we discussed, they are simple things. It only found one issue over here. It's a simple module. So let's do this one thing at a time, right? We have like 7 entries, one of them theme and 6 modules. Let's look at that one at a time. And my terminal is here. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so with my terminal ready and the editor ready, I'll see if I can increase the font size a little bit, but it's a recording, right? You can always put this to full screen. So let's start with our first module, contribtracker.info.yaml. Over here, the only requirement is that what was the problem? Oops, I think I lost the window. Yeah, the problem was, yeah, it's not compatible with the major version of core. Okay, yeah, so I need to update that. I'll say that I don't care about 8.8 anymore. So it'll be 9.5 or 10.0. I can say 10.1 now, but yeah, I'll just keep it 10.0. No, wait, I'm editing the theme. I'll need to do this over here as well, but yeah, I don't want to touch this. The first problem is contrib_tracker module. Right. So same thing. I don't care about 8.9. So I'm just going to say 9.5 or 10.0. Right. This should be enough. That's the only problem that's being reported. But let's look at the module, just like and just take a look and see if there is something. Hook mail alter. I have this nice extension. Actually, I've written it that will let me look at all the change records. Let's see if there is a change record for hook mail alter. Yeah, so there are some changes, but they're all very old. 8.0, 7.0. So I don't think so anything we need to worry about any of these things. Right? It's a Raycast extension, by the way. Like, little side note, it's a Raycast extension. Maybe I should do another video on it. I'll not go too deep into it, but Raycast is a very nice tool, kind of like replacement for Max Spotlight. And I've written this extension that will bring up Drupal change records. Anyway, back to the topic. So module seems okay. Let's look at the source directory. There is a drush command over here, but this is not going to be run anymore. This was, we had an issue once on the site with like some duplicate content and um, duplicate content because this site actually brings in issues from Drupal.org. So there was a bug and we generated duplicate content and we needed this file, but we don't need it anymore. It's just there, because we wrote it once. That's the only reason it's there. Console. Okay, that's the definition for command file. So we don't need to do anything else in this module. Fine. So one problem solved. We'll scan it again. The theme also, we looked at it. It was only one problem. So we'll scan them again just to see that there's nothing wrong. Nothing else has been picked up, since we introduced the version requirement change. Okay. So yeah, looks good. Now let's pick up, let's actually solve all the easy problems. So CT user, I guess, is another easy problem. So we'll take a look at CT underscore user, CT underscore user dot info. Yeah, so two things here. This is like a different issue, but it's not going to stop us from upgrading, or will it? Let's see. Again, change records, dependencies, info, dependencies. This will throw up a lot of different things. No, this won't help us. Dependencies, info file, and this is not bringing up anything. Okay. Let's just deal with it when we get to the problem. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. Same constraint. I can of course just change it to 10.0, but I'm not on Drupal 10 yet, so I don't want to do that. Let it be 9.5 or 10.0. And event listener, let's see if this is okay. Event listener seems okay. Event subscriber interface has not changed, I believe. Okay, no. Change records. Event subscriber interface. Okay, Symfony auto configuration is available for event subscribers. That's 10.2, so it's a new thing. I'm not worried about that. Rest everything is in 8.x. So yeah, no need. Oops, I just realized I'm hiding my photo is hiding, my video is hiding all of these things, so like this is what it looks like, and this is where I'm seeing the versions. When I said 10.x or 8.x, this is where I'm seeing it. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I will switch off the webcam at times, but sometimes it's helpful, all the, the being on video. Anyway, so okay, I don't need to worry about event subscriber. I know I have to worry about events. As in, I may not have to worry about it in this case, but if it's a particularly old module, I might have to change the namespace declaration for events. I know that, I've dealt with it on another site. So yeah, event subscriber interface, it's fine. Module, just hook help over here. Nothing to worry about over here. So this looks good. Let me close all of these files as well. Yeah, let's scan this to be sure. Let's just pick up another thing because I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's take CT GitHub. Info will definitely be there. Like that will be one thing that will definitely be a part of the errors. So I'll straight away get ahead of it. And what else? So GitHub, it says 3 problems. One of them is just this, as we can see. Okay, so fetching deprecated class constant auth access token of class GitHub client, use the auth method constant. Okay, so this is not related to Drupal. This is related to the GitHub client. If I was upgrading GitHub client, I would need to worry about this. It's useful that, so we have to understand that the upgrade status module it's built up on the what was the thing called, Rector. I think Rector, PHP stand, combination of those tools. It's kind of like summarizing the report from there. And these tools are basically detecting all the deprecations, right? Now, the way it works is that Drupal marks these methods as deprecated, methods, constants, variables, or whatever. It marks it as deprecated, which is how this works basically. Which is how the uh, this upgrade status module works. It scans the code, looks at what method calls are there, and sees what's deprecated. Let me switch to what method calls are there, what's deprecated, and so on. And it reports that. And Drupal, the way Drupal marks things as deprecated, others do that too. So like GitHub client, the way what we saw, I'm using this auth access token, right? And that's deprecated, but that's actually a part of the GitHub API class package. And while I should not use that, like it says that deprecated, use the auth method constant, that I should use this auth method directly. It's not really relevant to the Drupal upgrade. As in, I can switch to Drupal 10 without worrying about this. But it seems like a simple enough change because it's equivalent, so I can actually switch it. Let me switch it. So it's auth method client ID. No, wait. What is the auth _ access token, right? Yeah, so I'm going to use auth method access token. Oops, wrong file. Where did I? It's so easy to lose files in Visual Studio Code. And again, I realized I didn't switch back the camera. Okay, so I was looking at the auth access token over here. And so I'm just going to, you can see it's directly, like this constant is just alias to this other constant, right? And which means I can just replace that over here. And it's exactly the same. There's no difference. Of course, I need to call in the namespace. So I'll use this quick fix and add the auth method namespace declaration. So while it is not a problem that will stop me using Drupal 10, let's fix it anyway. Moving on, the next problem that we see is relying on entity queries to check access by default is deprecated in 9.2 and an error will be thrown in 10. So call something else instead with true or false to specify whether the access should be checked. Let's see the code and maybe that will make more sense because I didn't really understand that clearly. So GitHub contribution.php, line number 85. Yeah, so entity type manager get storage get. Is this the? Am I in the right place? Contribution source plugin, GitHub contribution. Contribution source is a plugin type which we built for this website. So it's not like a contrib module, so it's our own plugin type in this particular module. Right. So we have, where are we doing like relying on entity queries to check access by default? Okay. Oh, so what it's saying is that, it is checking for access by default over here, but we actually need to pass that specifically. So we need to call accessCheck with true or false to specify whether access should be checked. Okay. Maybe an example code would help, which means back to my change records extension. Let's search for accessCheck. Node revision accessCheck. Yeah, I think this sounds like what we are after. Enter, it'll open it in browser, the change record. So now we can read upon it. So yeah, it's saying that before Drupal entity query node access check true. Okay, so this is what it was before. This will trigger a deprecation error. Unchanged. This gets all articles the current user can view. So we need to call accessCheck true. Basically, that's what, and that's what we need to do. All right, so let's do that. Going back to VS Code. Right, so get query, that's our object. It returns that's basically the entity query object, right? So I'm going to say access check, and we want access check, right? That's the default. That's what it said, right? That it's the default thing, but we now need to make it explicit. So we true to specify, okay, relying on entity queries to check access by default, which it did, is deprecated, right? So now we need to explicitly say, that passing it through, which is what we're doing. So I think we are good over here. Let's scan the module now to see if we fixed all the problems. Meanwhile, we'll switch to the next one. I think City Manager also had like a few things. So I'm going to change the version constraint here. I just mentioned the plugin type and everything, right? This is the module that brings in the plugin type, that defines it. So yeah. All right, CT GitHub has disappeared from here, so that's good. City Manager, 4 problems. Let's see. One of them we just fixed it, so yeah. The rest 3. And I think all the 3 are same, basically. Relying on entity queries to check access by default. It's the same thing what we just dealt with, so it's easy. All of them are in a file called contribution tracker storage, so I'll open that. Lines 110, 122, and 153. We can very quickly make this change. So we have access check true, and I'm going to copy this line. This is the next one, right? It's at line 122, which became 123. Oops. And finally, line 153, which would be 155 now. Yes, so I think we are good with all of these things. We made all of the changes, and we'll scan it again. Next, we'll look at CT reports. Not so bad. I think I'm at 17 minutes mark, and I definitely thought it'll take longer than this. So CT reports, core version requirement. Yeah, it's no version 8 declaration over here, but I'm going to add 9.5 and 10. Okay, I think this is a very simple module, but let's see. CT reports, as in the other modules were complex because one defined a plugin type, the other consumed it, and so on. But this may not be that complicated. And yeah, I think it's the same thing. So you're seeing the trend, right? It's just one file, and I'll quickly make the change. Lines, we have lines 42 and 53. So we have 42, that's where query condition, same thing, right? No, wrong thing to paste. Let me get access check to, yeah. All right, and 53, which became 54. So we have added that, and we should be able to rescan CT reports. And finally, we'll look at CT Drupal, which is 6 things. I'm hoping all of them are the same thing, and we quickly fix that error as well. Let's see though. 9.5 to 10. All right, so that's one thing down. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, 6 problems. So let's see. Oh, there are actually a few more things. Okay, so there are only 2 warnings and ignores. We'll see if we can fix them, but okay, not a big deal. And this is simple Drupal contribution line 116. Line 116, right? 116. Yep. And I'll just paste in access check true again over here. It's the same thing. We're calling get query access check true. All right, so we are kind of on track. Do we need to fix this? I don't need to worry about this for Drupal 11. But let me just look at what this thing is, So a lot of files open. Let me just close a few of them. Yeah, a composer JSON will need that, so we'll let it be. Let's open comment details and see. I just want to understand what's the level of change that would be required over here. So it says that we can't use the request time constant 133. We're using request time, right? And what we would need to do is call Drupal time get request time instead. So I mean, this is telling me to use the global object, as in like the global, what's the name for this? The container, the dependency injection container. But we know that's not like really a great idea to like. I mean, I can do this, Drupal time and get request time. I can do this, right? It's like it'll get rid of the deprecation. But I don't want to do this because this is not like this is kind of frowned upon. So the real way to do this would be to the sustainable way to do this would be to kind of introduce this in the through injection. But again, I'm pretty sure that it's not as simple as all that, because where am I using it? I'm using it over here. I'll need to inject the time service from here, and this is a plugin. So okay, here I'll be able to inject the time service. So it kind of complicates a few things, and like I don't need to worry about it until 11. So maybe kind of like a later refactor. It's not blocking my upgrade right now anyway. So yes, let me scan this file again. And I think with this we'll be done with our custom changes. And we can start with the next set of changes. We are at 22 minutes mark, which means not bad. Oh, three problems. It's saying fix manually. But I think these are all the ones we just saw. That like it's asking us to ignore basically. It's not required to fix it. I would have wanted to fix it, but like I said, it's a lot of work. I'll need to kind of refactor to get that time service inside the class. It's a custom object, right? Which means I'll have to kind of bring in the um, what is that service that I'll basically need to wire dependency injection container all over the place, and yeah, I don't want to do that right now. Yes, so we can actually ignore Drupal.org 10 ready. Drupal.org, okay. Drupal 10 ready. Does it say Drupal local 10 ready? Yeah, it says compatible, which is what we are worried about, right? Rest everything is compatible, and geocoder and HL we've already discussed it. We'll have to deal with that later. So with this, we are on track with our steps. Our next step is to remove from the deprecated modules, and that is this warning basically. We need to remove ckeditor. Oh wait, we didn't commit this change, so let's commit these changes first. I'm going to switch to the source control view. Composer JSON I'm going to ignore right now, and like we'll carefully add each thing, just in case I made a typo or something. Oops, no, I didn't want that. Like, see, yeah, this is what I was talking about. I didn't want to do this, so I'm going to revert this change. It's always a good idea to look at the changes that you're about to commit, to look at them before actually committing. It's always a good idea. Otherwise, things like this could happen. It wouldn't have really hurt anything, if I'd committed it accidentally. But it's always a good idea to know what you're committing, because it leads to confusion later, and that is dangerous. So query, we had fixed this, which we didn't, like I said, which we didn't need to, but yeah, anyway, we fixed it. It was a simple change. Access, okay, only one change over here again. Let me just do all the info files. Again, quick check, because info files are easier to review. And yes, okay, yeah. So now the PHP files will review it little closer. It's a new line, access check true. Yeah. And contribution statistic, access check true. Okay. Let's just kind of look at the status log to see if something is coming up, because of this. Yeah, nothing I see over here. Site load, I'm not seeing any errors. I won't see, it's not going to happen in this part of the changes that we made, that it's going to happen in the cron run. But I don't want to run cron over here because it's going to take a very long time. And it's wired with Sentry. In case there is a problem, I can always catch it later. But there is a good amount of confidence that I don't need to worry about it. So it's a little bit of risk. I should really test it more closely, before deploying it. But like I explained in the previous video, this site is not being used in that way. It's not being actively worked upon. So little bit tolerance in favor of speed is fine. It's software engineering is a trade-off. We always need to make trade-offs in terms of speed and quality and efficiency and whatnot. We always have to make an educated decision about all of these things, which is why in this case, considering all the other factors, considering the confidence of the tools that we are using, our confidence in that, considering all of that, I'm taking this call that it's okay. I will deploy this, and in case the errors happen in production environment, it's fine. I'll be able to use Sentry to catch those errors. Whereas doing that right now, on that very slim chance that something could go wrong, will take a lot of time. Now, if the stakes were a little higher, for example, if this was an actively worked upon site, or a site where even like 20-minute downtime is not tolerable, then I would definitely test it much more deliberately. But these factors do not exist over here. So again, software engineering, like I said, trade-offs. There are no 20-minute downtime is perfectly tolerable in this case. It's fine. So I'm going to just go ahead and deploy these changes. Wait, let me get back to the page just to be sure. And yeah. So what I'm doing over here, is it a feature or a fix? Let's say it's a refactor. Let's call it a refactor. Remove deprecated users so that we can upgrade to Drupal 10 in custom modules. This is for Drupal 10. Again, that's another thing. Commit messages. I'm quite quite keen on having meaningful commit messages. Format and everything is one thing, like that's your team decision whether you're following this conventional commits format, or simply like issue number and message format. But what's important is that the message should be there. What is the commit doing? Which is why I did not want to bring that change of the Drupal time, request time over here, because again, I'm on the wrong screen, aren't I? Yeah. So just to show, this was the commit message. Remove deprecated uses in custom modules. This is for Drupal 10 upgrade. You can see it over here below. So like I was saying, the message matters. The what you're trying to say. Format matters in terms of consistency, as in whatever you're using, whatever format you're using, be consistent with it. But follow what the team follows. You have a team discussion, pick the thing that's most suitable for what you need to do, and follow that. But when using it, put meaningful commit messages, and like I was saying, aim for atomic commits, which is why I did not put that thing, that time request thing into this commit. That's the reason, because it's not really making sense with the rest of the commit. So we'll I remember to switch the screens this time. All right, so let's get back to the next task, which is removing the deprecated modules. And like we just saw, it's ckeditor, quick edit, and stable. Right. So for ckeditor, we have done this enough number of times. I've done this in my previous video, not the yesterday's video, but a video from way back, about a year back, where we need to enable ckeditor 5. So I won't go too deep into this. I'll straight away go look at ckeditor 5, enable it. Yes, enable this. I'll not explain too much. If you want to go for a detailed explanation. The documentation points to it. Next, what do we need to do? We need to edit the configuration to um, switch over to ckeditor 5 text editor. And this might throw warnings. Okay. So to maintain the capabilities, it did the following: enable these plugins. Okay. Added these tags attributes. Okay. Manually editable HTML tags. Okay. Additional details are available in your logs. Let's see. Let's just take a very quick look. Yeah, so it did all of these things. Secret yeah. Okay, that we saw. The following tags were permitted by the basic HTML site DL. Okay, all of these are fine. It was found that include plugins that support the following tags but not some of their attributes. To ensure these attributes remain supported, the following were added to the source editing plugins manually editable HTML tags. Okay, href-lang. So it added the tags, but it also added the attributes for those tags. All good. Yeah, I'm just like doing kind of a quick sanity check. Everything's okay. Yeah, restrict images to the site and all of that. The main reason of this site, the main purpose of the site, there's no real like nobody's coming to this site and adding content directly. So I'm not too worried about this configuration. Again, if something breaks, little downtime is fine. I can fix it at that time. I don't need to aim for perfection over here. That's what I'm saying. And like me before 2 years, 3 years would not believe that I'm saying something like this. But yeah, you learn, you grow, and we realize that okay, aiming for perfection at all times is not really practical. Okay, I have enabled text editors and formats. I've switched over to ckeditor 5. That's good. What I need to do over here is export the configuration with the the new text formats and everything. I'm a little worried that upgrade status will get in the way. Let's see. I mean, I think I can just edit the core dot file, the core dot extension dot YAML file. Yeah. So as you can see, ckeditor 5 we enabled it. That's correct. So we need to add this. Can I add just this line? Upgrade status I don't want to add. Click to revert change. I know how to do this via command line, but like now this is making it tricky. I don't want to revert this right now, or let me revert it, add the file, and then bring it back. No, it's not working. Yeah, I'm sure, like, and I'm not going to import the configuration, so I'm not worried about that. Like, if I imported this configuration, it will disable the upgrade status module. So yeah, I'm not worried about that. This changes I do need to add. So editors, I'll just add it. This is like the filter format, like all of these tags which were changed. That's fine. Same thing. It added like a like a setting to it. And upgrade settings.yaml, we don't want that. Again, so we are good. Oops, what did I click? I didn't mean to click that. Sometimes command line is best. It tells you clearly. UI sometimes gets confusing. It all looks good over here. I'm scrolling below and I'm looking at the changes in this one view. This might be easier, bigger view. It like easier for review. Yep. Yeah, this is like we already saw these changes. These are fine. The filter formats are fine. Yeah. So I'm going to, oh no, I've already added things and I can commit it from here. So that would be feature again. I'll just call it a feature. Upgrade to ckeditor 5 configuration. We're not going to uninstall ckeditor right now. Drupal 10 is going to do that for us. So we are done. Except that we need to like the couple more things to do. Let's go back to the reports. upgrade status. And quick edit and stable we need to remove, so let's remove them. Actually, I'll just remove from command line. Quick edit, again, like I said, this site is not really uh, that kind of thing where people edit things using the UI, so I'm not worried about quick edit. Yeah, what is the quick edit is? Yeah, now I don't know if it is quick underscore edit or quick edit. I'll try quick underscore edit. Okay, so it's not that. Okay, quick edit is removed. Stable, yeah. Let's see the appearance. No, where is appearance? So stable not found. Yeah, it's just like, I think it's kind of like a basic thing that's installed. So is the reason that, okay, contrib tracker depends on stable? Is that the reason? It would have reported, right? I mean, upgrade status would have told us something as simple as this. Upgrade status would have told us, I'm sure. So, but I'm just going to check anyway. Contrib tracker.yaml base theme is stable. Okay. I am not sure what will break with Drupal 10 upgrade, but let's just upgrade and deal with it. We're going to run the config export again. And this will only be one change in core extension file. And we already know that we are going to see upgrade status over there again. So, right, quick edit is gone, upgrade status. So I'm not going to use this because it kind of messes things up. I'm going to use command line to add the file. That lets me, no, I'm not interested in composer JSON. Actually, yeah, I should have set git add config string /-p. Yeah, because I just need to add quick edit change and ignore the change from upgrade status and verify that I did the right thing with git def cached. So I added the quick edit change, and with that we are good to commit. So remove quick edit. Okay, so I'm just going to push it, to keep things updated on GitHub. CI is failing over there right now. We saw that yesterday. By the way, I think one of the reasons the Drupal test CI failed was, I think I figured out that the Drupal test traits thing. I kind of went into the rabbit hole yesterday. I don't want to do that today, but I just needed to install Symfony browser kit, I think. And the core dev thing that we have added as part of our upgrade, we have added core dev that brings in Symfony browser kit. So if I were to commit these changes, actually I would get that back. But I don't want to commit these things, so we'll bring Symfony browser kit separately at the end of this exercise, so that we can at least get that test to pass. So where are we? We have we have upgraded the custom modules and themes, and we have pushed changes. Are we missing anything? Upgrade status.settings and composer changes. So let's start removing upgrade status module now. We have got as much use out of it as we can. We are I'm still worried about stable, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Time check, we are at almost at 40 minutes mark, but I think I'm sure I'm going to meet composer errors, so I'm thinking if it's too complicated to solve, we'll have a third video with specifically the composer things and the other things I talked about, browser kit and stuff like that, and upgrade to PHP 8.2 as well. I suppose I should, right? At that time. So let me just clean up the configuration, remove upgrade status because we don't need it anymore. Remove that and call this the end of the day. Call this the end. So we have removed changes from core extension and upgrade status because we have removed the module. Now we are good to remove the module from composer as well. its upgrade status. And we'll also remove core dev because that work is also done. Hopefully there will be no changes to log file once we have reverted this. JSON file will of course be reverted, but there won't be changes to log file either, which means, yeah, okay, there might still be some change. What is this? Oh, PHP unit bridge. Oh, this is another thing that we removed yesterday. PHP unit bridge was introduced by core dev, which is why we had to remove it in the first place. So let's bring it back. Or you know what? Let me try installing BrowserKit. And maybe that'll bring PHP unit bridge anyway as part of it. Okay, no, it doesn't. Okay, so I'm bringing in BrowserKit, but let me see if this is installed. Symfony/PHP unit bridge. Okay, it's not installed. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's install it. It was 6.1. I don't want to add this again because again this might block my Drupal 10 upgrade. So I'm going to leave it at that. Composer.lock changes. It's difficult to look at the diff, so I'm going to use another thing, composer.lock diff, to see what changes exist in Composer. So we are seeing that PHP unit bridge was removed. We know that. BrowserKit was added. We don't care about that right now. What else? File system was downgraded to 4.4. Finder was also downgraded, and site alias was downgraded. I think all of this happened because of adding core dev. So let me see, if I can. Actually, these are things I can fix after Drupal 10 upgrade as well, which again, I'm just going to run the command, and I'm sure I'm going to meet problems. I'm going to say Drupal/core 10.1. But we'll look at the problems later. -w. This should be enough to begin. Anything else? Oh no, we need to add Drupal/hal, right? Drupal/hal, and that'll be 2.0. That was the version I remember. Geocoder is already handled over here, so we don't need to worry about that. Although, why not? Drupal/geocoder. I'll make it explicit, that I want 4.0 version going forward. And let's see. This might actually, Composer is like very fitly this way. I hope this doesn't break. And we know that that this is breaking a few things. It's not updating Drupal/do username. It requires Drupal core 10, so I don't know what's the problem with that. Actually, it's like a whole bunch of problems, which means we'll have to work on it over here. And like I said, we'll probably not do it today. Let me copy the command, and we'll just look at the problems and call it a day. So you see there is like so many problems around here, and I'm sure that it's like a simple required somewhere that's causing this to fail, which is why we are going to look at that in another video. We are already exceeding 40 minutes timeline, approaching 44 minutes. Still not bad. We have the next video can be entirely about solving the Composer problems. In that way, it will be very similar to my earlier video, the one that I did a year back. And then the upgrade to PHP 8.2, which hopefully won't be that complicated. So with that, I think I'm good with this video. I hope you found this useful as previous video, just like the previous video. And do share your thoughts. Do share this video, the usual stuff. And have a good day. Bye.